Hello, góðan daginn, and welcome to the Pressure Pal. My name is Gunnhildur, I'm an Icelander, live in Iceland, and this is my podcast, vlog, chat type thing, where I talk mainly about yarn, about knitting, crocheting, anything yarn related, fibers, because I find them interesting, and about the weather, because I'm your stereotypical Middle-aged Icelander, and weather is interesting. Speaking of the weather, no wait, hang on. It's called the project pile because I have projects and they aren't piles. One of these days I'm gonna nail it. But hello, yes. So about the weather. Last week we got a lot of ice. Iceland really stood under its name. See, I had no problem with the powdery snow that we had around the holidays. The ice that we've had on the New Year, not a big fan. Not a fan. The fact that there hasn't been, like, I haven't heard about, and that's surprising to me. I haven't really heard about anyone falling and breaking like bones or something, which I'm really surprised about because the ice has been horrendous. Kind of surprised now. I haven't actually think about it. I haven't heard about anyone. So, now personally, I always have spikes on my shoes, and like not the normal regular little ones that are like sharp little dots that you can put under your shoes. I have like I call them bear claws, like they are proper grippers, and I found that I'm at the age where I am not going outside when it's icy and like that unless I'm wearing those grippers, because I'm like so far in my life I have not broken a bone and I have no interest in finding out what that feels like. So yeah, I'm wearing spikes. Now that said, is there anything else? I don't know. My brain is feeling a little chaotic today, so it's like I'm gonna do my best to try and stay a little bit coherent. Actually, about the yarn, I was tidying up a tiniest bit, because I realized that I have like 3 project baskets going. I have bags and I have baskets, and I'm like, I'm gonna stay on target and be organized and just, it's gonna be fine. And then I go overboard with it. I'm like, there's a project, and there's a project, and there's a project, and there's a project. Well, what you gonna do? Yeah, I was tidying up a little bit, so I rediscovered a couple of projects that rediscovered. I knew about them, but I've forgotten them. Well, at the same time knowing about them. So the plan is to get those finished so I can actually use them, because that's kind of the point of making these things, is to make them, finish them, use them. You know, that's why I have the yarn, that's why I spend time knitting and crocheting. Then maybe finish them might be a good idea. Actually, speaking of finishing, I finally finished weaving in the ends. Actually did that around about midnight one night this past week, because someone in the building, and I kind of doubt it's the neighbors right below, I don't think it's them, the neighbors who are on the floor right below me. I think it's the neighbors below them. Someone was bouncing a ball and has been doing that repeatedly since the beginning of this year, and I'm not a fan. That's something that you can do during the day when people aren't trying to sleep, because like we are, like I work in daytime, we are day people people below us, they are day people. Their work is in the daylight hours. Bouncing a ball around midnight is just... If you live in your own house, you know, not with any neighbors who share a wall or a floor or a ceiling with you, that's fine. But when you live in an apartment building, don't. But anyway, so it was around midnight because I had a hard time falling asleep because some adult is an adult, it's not a kid, was bouncing a ball. So I actually got up and finished weaving in the end. So that was useful. And I kind of want to make another hat like this because this is just so cool. I really love this pattern. And I love how it's slouchy. I love how it turned out. And another project I managed to finish this week, and I'm really happy about it, I finally finished the scarf. So this is Drops... What are you? Andes. Drops Andes is a pattern, free pattern from Garn Studio called Ariel. And this is a scarf that I made up. It's just a simple 2x2 knit pattern made from Sildar Jewel Spun Aran. Love this yarn. The Andes, not a single knot, absolutely perfect to work with, lots of fun. The Sildar Jewel Spun, not a single knot in the entire huge ball of yarn, not a single knot. A lot of fun to work with, and the colors are just absolutely gorgeous. It has turned out beautifully, and because there's, you know, no knots, no problem with the yarn itself, I only had the beginning and end to weave in. And that is always something that I am extremely grateful for. As for the Knit Night project, I have gotten a little bit ahead, you know, along. I think I've doubled it just about. Looks like a little skirt. So this is actually, this is yarn that I got from Ice Yarns, I think about 2 or 3 years ago. I'm not sure. No, wait, it was before Christmas. When I want to say 2020. I really want to say 2020. But it's winter sale, right? So it's sale metallic gold. I really doubt that this is available anymore. I was very thankful that I managed to get the yarn that I did manage to get at the time, because the yarn, I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, they might have something comparable, like they are, you know, they make the yarn, they are the origination of their yarns. I just don't dare to go on the website because I have so much yarn already, and I know that if I go there I'm going to fall into temptation, and I cannot. I cannot. I'm already having such a hard time to not fall into temptation on knit nights, because the coffee shop has just lovely yarn, plus the lovely proprietor C is giving us 20% discount when we buy yarn on knit nights, and it's so generous and so kind of her. It's just but it does make things really difficult when you're an easily impressionable person, because I noticed, I can't remember what I was doing, but I did wander over to the yarn section. I think I was checking something out, and then I noticed that she has, or they have more of the, I'm actually looking for it, I don't think I have one within reach, but she does have newer colors of the Drops Air, and Drops Air is such a gorgeous yarn to work with. It's so light and it's so warm, it's so delight. I don't think have I ever found a knot in that yarn either. Not so far. So far I haven't. And she just got some absolutely gorgeous new colors in that are more like spring summery. And somehow I have no idea if someone was like testing out color combinations or something, but I saw in one of the cubicles this lovely just summery yellow color. A gorgeous shade of orange, bright orange, but not too bright, and bright green, but not too bright. Like they're bright, but they're not like in your face, like they're not neon, they're just lovely popping. I'm just staring at it and it was so hard. I think my only saving grace is the fact that I was so determined, because last week I bought yarn to make a cardigan that I still haven't started on because I need to get other things done. So I was sitting there doing my knitting, just like, I am not buying more yarn, I am not buying more yarn. And I think my only saving grace is the fact that I was sitting like at the end of the long table, right by the wall. So, and when I sit somewhere like that, my thinking gets, I cannot be, you know, walking back and forth, because that will disturb people, even though they honestly, they wouldn't be disturbed. But that was the excuse that I gave myself, so that I couldn't go to check out the yarn anymore, because I would be just disturbing people, using other people as an excuse. And honestly, also there were so many conversations going on, and I was like, I just want to sit here, do my knitting, and pay attention to what they're talking about, because I could actually switch between listening to this conversation, and this conversation, and this conversation. And it's so nice, because usually when I am in a big crowd of people and everyone is talking, it becomes like sibilia. It becomes sibilia, like a mess. It's like a crashing symphony. So usually I have a really hard time hearing one conversation if everyone is talking around me. But that night I could actually distinguish, and I'm like, that is so nice. I could actually pay attention to separate conversation. It's just... But yeah, so I convinced myself that I just did not have time to go and check out the yarn. Because on top of that, you know what I did? I went on to Garn Studio to see if I could find a pattern that I could use. And now, obviously, I found a pattern. And then I decided, excuse me. And then I decided, you know what? I can allow myself to buy that yarn later. Preferably if I'm finished some of the projects that I really want to work on. Then I can allow myself later to check that pattern and that yarn out when I figured out the color combinations. But I need to finish some of the other stuff that I'm working on. But the bright point is also, what I did notice is that, first off, like the colors that I got last week, there are this lovely combination of yellows. And I've usually not been very, I won't say that I've not been a very bright color wearing person. So now, for me to just absolutely fall in love with these bright colors and being like, I want that, it is really making me happy, because that means that there is some changes in how I want to express myself, in the colors that I want to wear and work with. And change is good. Change means that, you know, there's always some evolution, there's always something different, and different is good. It's actually getting a little warm. So yeah, honestly, if you can get your hands on like the City Light Jewel Spun, if you haven't tried it, I know I've only tried one skein, but this was a delight. I like it. It turned out so nice. The colors are just so perfectly autumn. I know it's January, but like that autumn. And this hat definitely should be nice for like the Icelandic spring, summer. I fully expect the summer to be like not the warmest. That's usually how it is this close to Arctic. It is about just about 11:30 Sunday morning, and as you can see, we are getting really close to me spotting my shadow. So it's either gonna happen today, it might happen today because it's not actually cloudy in the pass. And if that happens, then we can follow our yearly tradition. The first time when you see the sun, you can have sun pancakes. This is tradition here in the Eastern Fjords and also in the Western Fjords, where in the winter time we don't get to see the sun because of the mountains, meaning that, you know, it can get really dark. So when we get to see the sun again, that's a reason for celebration. So I mean, I can see her halo. Oh, is it dark gold? Oh, anyway, I did also want to show you the reason for why I was actually tidying up my baskets. It's because I decided to get started on one of the projects from the hobby advent calendar. I've just started on the knitted version of the little bandana, the lacy one. I think it's called Lacy. I was gonna look it up before I started filming, but then I forgot. But yeah, I think this is gonna turn out absolutely nice. And it actually goes with this dress. Lovely. So yeah, so far, I mean, this is my first time working with alpaca. It's these, I'm gonna bring the basket over here too. It's this soft alpaca lace, which is extremely soft. And then this here, this is also alpaca. And this, oh, don't get stuck. Okay. Is the alpaca blaze, which is acrylic alpaca and polyamide blend. It's really nice and soft, got such a nice halo. So yeah. But the pure alpaca obviously is absolutely gorgeous and soft. It's so soft. The blend is not, it's still soft, but it's not as soft. But it does have that nice halo. So yeah. Didn't mess it up. Okay, I think it's safe. Should be safe. And you know, because it's that type of project, I'm using my the Knit Pro Rose Gold. What are you? Oh no, I can't remember. But I'm using my fancy Knit Pros because these are so soft and so nice and so gorgeous to use. So that is definitely something I feel. Hang on, thank you. Like this alpaca yarn, I feel that it goes well with this type of knitting needles. I'm not sure if knitting with like metal or like aluminum needles would probably not suit me with this yarn. And bamboo, I really want to say no. I mean, for someone else that might be more suitable, but for me, it's definitely going to be like the classic Knit Pro wooden knit needles. Definitely works better for me. But yeah, I think I need to write these things down. Yes, about my little grandniece. Last picture I saw was on Friday. She's down to a single tube. She was up to 6. She's down to 1. She's a week old at that time. She's down to 1. She got like jaundice, which is understandable. She's 2 months premature. She only had to be in the heating box for like 30 hours. Like this little lady. She's barely a week old and I'm already so proud of her. Whew. I am so phlegmatic. Excuse me. Whenever I talk English for too long, for some reason my system just decides, yes, that's the time to make a lot of phlegm. But yeah, so the good news are, the little lady is tough. Like, so tough. And I do know that a friend, because they did not expect her to be out this early, so they weren't really prepared for her. So I know that a friend of her did have like a little set for her to get, and I do know that she should have it by now. Yeah, because my coworker actually has to go visit the doctor tomorrow or Monday, and I do know that she had a flight on Friday, and her daughter is a friend of the young mother. So the daughter of my coworker has a set. I think that's like blanket, little hat, probably, and little socks. I'm imagining, like, I didn't see any picture of the sets, but it's like a hat, little socks, and little onesie type of thing. Probably a blanket, I'm imagining, and that's something that's called heimfara set. Heimfara set. Heim is home, fara is to go. Or to leave, it's a travel trip, and set is a set. So it's a traditional thing that a lot of people prefer to be knitted. That's the dream for a lot of people, to have a heimfara set that is knitted, often by a family member, an older family relation, and it's often gifted to a newborn to have something warm to wear when they come home. It's a really, really lovely gift, and I know a lot of people do it all over the world, particularly Western world. Obviously, I cannot judge for anyone else. I know it's a thing that is done here in Iceland, so I'm projecting. I am imagining that this is a thing that has to be known in other countries, because I know that a lot of patterns that are used here in Iceland come from like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, England. So I'm imagining that a lot of other cultures have this as well, and it's a really nice thing to know that a newborn has when they are coming home, to have something nice and warm and homemade to go home. So yeah, I do know that a friend of hers did have a set to give her, so I don't know, it just made me really happy to know about it. Like, I can see the halo of the sun. It's just like that bright, fresh golden halo around the sun. It's either gonna happen today, might not happen, but it's definitely gonna happen in the next days. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted by trying to see where the sun's going. I should not be staring at the sun. I mean, aiming at the halo is probably not a good idea, but I'm still like, are you gonna show yourself? Silliness. But yeah, I think that's just enough from me today. I've probably finished the hat. I probably finished the scarf. I've got quite a bit done on the cocoon cardigan. Again, I'm not so sure that the yarn is still available. There might be something comparable on iShares, but again, I don't dare to go there because I'm going to be sucked in, and I know. I was gonna start work. I started working on the knitted bandana from the hobby advent calendar. I think I want to start, when I got that one done, I think I want to get the crochet version done. So I at least got something done from the advent calendar. It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so cool. And those are the small projects. I do want to get, I need to continue with the glass with the lovely jumper that I've been wanting to work on for well over a year, and as soon as I get started, I lose interest. It's just, the brain is weird. I need to get that one finished so I can start wearing it, and then I need to get the other. Like, I'm literally looking at 3 bags full of yarn that are just ready to go and become jumpers or cardigans. It's not for want of not having the things to work on, it's getting myself to do the things that I want to work on. That's a problem. But yeah, I think that's enough for me this weekend. I don't think I'm gonna see this one. Might happen next weekend. Yeah. Honestly, when talking about the weather, I'm genuinely happy that I'm not working on weekends because it snowed heavily last night. Well, you know, all of yesterday, and today it's windy and there's a little bit of snow coming down, but mostly it's just blowing around. And I'm really happy to not be working today. It's a good thing. But yeah, I will thank you for staying with me today, and I will hopefully see you again next weekend. We'll see what I will be getting into then. It's interesting. I'm just so happy to actually have something finished. It's just so good. But yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will hopefully see you again next weekend. Repeating myself. And until then, I really hope that life is as good to you as it can possibly be, and hopefully better. And see you next weekend. Okay, take care. Bless.